search for 29-year-old Taylor Pomaski from Spring. She's been missing since April the 20th.
Investigators say human remains have been found during a search for a missing Spring woman, 29-year-old Taylor Pomaski.
She was smart, funny, and loved by everyone who knew her. But when 29-year-old Taylor Pomaski vanished after a violent fight with her boyfriend, questions turned into a nightmare. Where was Taylor? Who was hiding the truth? And why did it take nearly a year for investigators to uncover the chilling evidence that finally exposed a killer?
She's been missing for nearly 2 months. She vanished after a party was thrown at her home in Spring.
You know, as long as she's been missing, so we got a lot of work to do.
Dozens of volunteers searched several wooded areas along FM 2920 in Spring.
This is the story of Taylor Pomaski, a 29-year-old woman whose sudden disappearance in 2021 shocked the quiet suburbs of Texas. At first, it seemed like a normal missing person case, but what followed revealed a web of secrets, a troubled relationship, and a chilling ending no one expected. There were no screams, no broken glass, no frantic calls for help, just a brief fire in the backyard, one that flared up in the darkness and was gone by morning. Taylor was last seen on April 25, 2021, at her home in Spring, Texas. It was supposed to be a casual night with friends, music, drinks, and laughter. But the gathering took a dark turn. Witnesses remembered heated arguments between Taylor and her boyfriend, former NFL player Kevin Ware Jr. Some said she looked frightened. One guest believed she had been locked in a room for part of the night. By midnight, people began leaving. Taylor never walked out. Her car was still in the driveway. Inside, her purse, her phone, and even her dog, all left behind. Days passed. Her texts stopped. Calls to her mother went unanswered, something Taylor had never done before. Weeks went by before police were finally contacted. Officers checked her home. Nothing looked unusual. No forced entry. No sign she had packed a bag. But in neighborhoods like Spring, people don't simply disappear. Investigators soon learned Taylor had confided in friends about her fears. Just weeks earlier, there had been reports of violent disputes. Still, no official complaint was ever filed. The first major clue came from silence. No activity on her bank cards, no phone records, no social media logins. In today's world, that type of digital blackout is rarely accidental. Neighbors reported loud music that night, but one detail stood out. A woman remembered seeing smoke rising from the backyard, what she assumed was trash being burned. She hadn't mentioned it until police returned for a second search. This time, investigators noticed something stranger, a bathroom that looked far too clean. Freshly bleached grout, but no sign of professional cleaners. The lack of evidence was unsettling. Why would someone scrub a bathroom floor so thoroughly the morning after Taylor vanished? Who stayed behind that night? And who was the last person she spoke to? Detectives began to focus on the man closest to her, Kevin Ware Jr., but legally, it was still only a missing person case. For 6 weeks, Taylor's family clung to hope. But as investigators traced her final days, they uncovered troubling details that had been hiding in plain sight. Taylor's behavior had begun to shift weeks before she vanished. She became distant, often ignoring texts or canceling plans without explanation. Investigators later found several deleted conversations, but the remaining messages hinted at the truth. He wrote in vague terms, "It's been intense," or "We're figuring things out." Twice she admitted she was scared, but never explained why. On March 28th, just a month before she disappeared, Taylor phoned a friend late at night. She spoke in a whisper, sounding dazed and uneasy. That call lasted less than 5 minutes. The friend remembered only one haunting line. "If something happens to me, please remember this." Taylor ended the call before she could say more. Her name was already in police records. On April 7th, officers were dispatched to her home after a domestic disturbance was reported. They found Taylor and her boyfriend in a heated argument. The report was filed away, forgotten. After that, her public presence faded. The woman who once posted weekly on Instagram went silent. She started missing work, even skipping a scheduled court hearing, something co-workers said was completely out of character. There wasn't one major warning sign, but a steady stream of small, unsettling ones. Then came a chilling discovery. Digital forensics uncovered an unsent draft email in her account, opened and edited multiple times in April. The subject line read, "In case you need to know." The body was nearly empty, just a single line. "I didn't fall off the radar. They pushed me." Analysts couldn't recover earlier versions or confirm if it had ever been sent. It just sat there, waiting. Taylor Pomaski's disappearance wasn't sudden. It was the final act of a long unraveling. Friends recalled her fear, the way she brushed off concerns, even her quiet plan to leave. On April 25, 2021, after a party filled with laughter and arguments, she was gone. When police first checked her home, her car sat untouched, her dog roamed outside, and her partner gave vague answers. It was logged as routine, non-criminal. By the time she was officially reported missing on Mother's Day, nearly 2 weeks had passed. Valuable evidence already lost. Her phone had gone silent since the night she vanished. No calls, no banking, no digital trace. Investigators later discovered a chilling clue. The day before, she had Googled, "What to pack if you have to leave quickly?" But without a crime scene or confession, detectives were left with fragments. A dog in the yard, overwritten surveillance, and a woman who had warned, in quiet ways, that she was afraid. Something irreversible had happened. The turning point came when investigators returned to the Stallion Brook Lane house. The first search back in May had been little more than a walkthrough. But by now, digital records confirmed Taylor hadn't touched her phone or accounts since April 25th. That silence, paired with her behavioral red flags, justified a forensic sweep. The bathroom became the first focus. Its grout lines looked unnaturally scrubbed. Chemical tests revealed traces of strong cleaners, bleach, ammonia. That alone wasn't suspicious, but microscopic samples from deep within the tile seams told a different story. Lab results confirmed the presence of human blood proteins. The DNA was Taylor's. The traces were faint, invisible to the eye, yet powerful enough to shift the house from routine residence to potential crime scene. Next came the backyard. Neighbors had reported seeing a small fire the night Taylor vanished. At first glance, the patch of burned earth seemed ordinary, but when soil samples were analyzed, they revealed something chilling: byproducts of burning organic matter, synthetic fibers from clothing, and elevated calcium phosphate levels, compounds typically released when bone is incinerated. It wasn't proof of a body, but it was enough to rule out an innocent trash fire. Investigators then examined carpet fibers from the hallway connecting the bathroom to the back door. Beneath a recently replaced layer, the older padding contained microscopic blood markers. The DNA matched Taylor's. Not visible stains, not large pools, just silent traces embedded in foam. As one detective noted, no signs of struggle, no weapon, no pooling. But it's clean in a way people don't clean. When Taylor Pomaski vanished, her boyfriend claimed she walked out after a fight. But detectives found bleach-scrubbed bathrooms, new carpet, and a backyard fire caught on a neighbor's camera. Months later, charred bones, melted fabric, and scorched shoelaces surfaced in a remote ditch, and dental records confirmed the worst. Cell tower data, burned remains, and blood in the house all pointed to one man, former NFL player Kevin Ware Jr., now indicted for murder. The trial never came. In April 2023, Ware pled guilty.
Today, former NFL player Kevin Ware Jr. He is the man accused of killing a missing spring woman. After pleading guilty to possession of cocaine, he pleaded guilty this morning and has been in police custody.
30 years, no appeals, no parole for at least 25. There was no testimony, no dramatic verdict, just paperwork, a judge's gavel, and silence. But even in silence, Taylor's story carried weight. She had reached out for help. She had called 911 weeks before her death. She told friends she was afraid. She drafted an email titled, "In case you need to know." She never sent it. It contained just one line: "I didn't fall off the radar." Beneath it, A second sentence remained, undeleted. They pushed me. The system listened, but too late. Taylor Pomaski's story is a chilling reminder that even the strongest efforts to hide the truth can't erase it forever. Burned soil, hidden fibers, digital traces, all of it carried her voice beyond silence. Justice may be slow, but it is relentless. And while the case against Kevin Ware Jr. now rests with the courts, one fact will never change. Taylor Pomaski did not simply vanish. She was taken, her story buried in fire and shadows, until investigators brought it back into the light.